Hey guys, welcome to another video. Doing a deck tech today for Historic, and in Historic the news is that we recently had a Historic anthology come out releasing several cards. The noteworthy ones being like the Cat Pact or Harmless Offering, which is completes the Cat Pact combo. We have Death Shadow, so there's been a lot of Death Shadow decks roaming around. There was the sword, one of the swords, I forget which sword got added. And some other cards. Yeah, so I'm going to be trying out several of them in the coming videos here, and I wanted to do a card, even though I do a lot of Izzet decks on this channel. Just so happens, but there is a very interesting card that got released into Historic, and that is Collected Conjuring. So the name of this deck is Coco but for spells, which is essentially what this card is. This was originally printed in Modern Horizons, as you can see by the set symbol. It says 2 blue-red, exile the top 6 cards of your library. You may cast 2 sorcery spells with converted mana cost 3 or less from among them without paying their mana cost. Put the exiled cards onto the bottom in a random order. So I don't know why it has to say the exile part there, but I guess it just shows them the cards, doesn't really matter. But the point is, this is essentially a collected company, but instead of getting 3 or less creatures, you get 3 or less sorceries. So in Modern, where this was where it was only allowed to be played, I guess also Legacy and Vintage, but this card's not seeing play there. This card didn't quite get there. The sorcery clause, instead of it being an instant speed, and also only hitting sorceries and stuff, was just kind of too much, and yeah, it didn't look too good. But this is kind of looking to be a decent power level for Historic, so I wanted to take a look at this card and see what we can do. So there's a couple of ways this card's been used. It's been used in like Metallurgic summoning decks. It's been used in Thousand Year Storm decks. In this deck, it's just kind of being used, I would say, fairly, where we're just trying to get the 3 spell triggers and figure out what best is advantageous for us there. So you'll see there's a couple of ways that we are using it. The main hits that you would want to hit off it would be, I would say, Invade the City, which is going to make a zombie army equal to the number of instants and sorceries in the graveyard. So this is kind of how we're going to dig for Invade the City. And also Beacon Bolt is kind of similar. And then also Shark Typhoon. So Shark Typhoon and Metallurgic Summonings are kind of like the big cards that you want to use with Collected Conjuring. You cast Collected Conjuring with Shark Typhoon on the battlefield. It triggers the Shark Typhoon for 4, as well as the 2 cards that you get off of Collected Conjuring. So you're getting 3 sharks off of just 1 card, and that's pretty powerful. So yeah, let's break down the deck here. So we have Op and Pillar of Flame. Nothing kind of noteworthy there. These are kind of great cards normally. We have Chart a Course and Strategic Planning and Tormenting Voice for card draw. Tormenting, I'm not sure why. I guess maybe mana balance is why we have Tormenting Voice and not Chart a Course. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that that would be my possible explanation for it. But you could make an argument for running some Charter Courses. But I do think we want to discard because of Invade the City and Beacon Bolt. So yeah, and then we have Dorat, the Perfect Pet, aka Sprite Dragon, and Stormman Entity is kind of over here as a 2-drop, since these will likely cost 2 mana, and these are prowess guys that are going to also benefit off of Collected Conjuring, giving Sprite Dragon 3 +1/+1 counters, or Stormman Entity 3 prowess triggers. It's going to be really good. Yeah, and that's essentially the deck. I mean, Shark Typhoon, we only have 20 lands, but I think essentially Shark Typhoon is the plan if the game goes long, but we're kind of looking to just play, find Dorat and Stormman Entity, or Invade the Cities, and beat down. Yeah, that is the deck. Before we get into the games, remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. If you enjoy my content and want to see more deck techs like this. Alright, let's head into the games. Alright, so we have our namesake card. But we don't have blue. But I think we can just cast Tormenting Voice and be fine. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to keep this. I don't think this is a mulligan. And we have Pillar of Flame. Well, Pillar of Flame is a sorcery, I'm just realizing. Maybe this should be something else, but I guess it's fine. Oh, I guess we want it to be a sorcery because I always forget that part of Collected Conjuring. Alright, I will not use the Pillar of Flame on nothing. Legion's Landing, you say. Alright, well there is a Steam Vents. That's kind of nice. I'm kind of down to just Tormenting Voice and discard something here. Maybe I'm discarding the Strategic Planning. Yeah, I'm gonna pitch the Strategic Planning here. Alright, Beacon Bolt is a welcome addition. So I want to save this Invade the City for something a little bit more. Also, Thraben Inspector is the other card from the Historic Anthology, which is kind of interesting to see that here. Actually, I think I want to just play Beacon Bolt, because Beacon Bolt will deal with the token here and be kind of mana efficient, because Pillar of Flame is kind of, I guess, better. We're going to probably just jam Collect the Conjuring next turn and see how it hits. See if it's good. Thalia! No! Boo. Probably just cast Pillar of Flame on it, right? Big sad. That makes me sad. Alright, that's fine. Our opponent's not really putting pressure on us. This is some kind of tax or mono white taxes list. I will just jam Conjuring here, right? I guess I'll play an island first so I can keep up either blue or red. Alright. So this looks like we're casting Strategic Planning and probably just cast Pillar of Flame, get rid of this Thraben Inspector. And here we get Shark Typhoon, right? And next turn, actually, this is kind of nice. We only run 20 lands or whatever it is, but now we can just jam Shark Typhoon next turn. It's kind of very easy Shark Typhoon. We have to take a turn off, but that was fairly easy. Tithe Taker? Sure. And Dauntless Bodyguard. Okay, so they're going to protect the... I'm assuming they're protecting that, yeah. Okay, let's just jam the Shark Typhoon. Next turn we can Beacon Bolt and Invade the City for lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. Is this relative to abilities as well? Thalia, sure. I shall Beacon Bolt here. Yeah, let's Beacon Bolt. Let's actually discard this op. Right? Yeah. And invade the city. That is a big invade the city, is it not? Yeah, that is an 8/8. That is a big boy. Alright, I'm just jamming the other Shark Typhoon here, right? Let's attack like this. Alright, they might concede after this second Shark Typhoon. Our opponent theoretically should have like a advantageous position. I guess no, they just didn't have lands, so they just kind of had too slow of a game. Yes, I guess they saw the writing on the wall there. Alright, this hand looks great. We have Op to fix our draw, and invade the city in case we whiff. I won't say whiff, but like stumble. Do I want this mountain? I think I want more blue. That's not blue. That's not blue. Let's Tormenting Voice, discarding this Pillar of Flame. Yeah. Alright, there we go. Actually, now that was fine, because I guess now we didn't need to bottom the mountain, because he had Pillar of Flame on top of our deck, but not knowing that Pillar was on top of our deck, I thought was important there. Alright, our opponent's wondering what our deck is. Understandable. This is a weird deck. Let's see what our opponent plays here. On to Luminarch Aspirant. Alright, they probably put the counter. Alright, well, this is advantageous for us, because now we get to Pillar of Flame, the Luminarch Aspirant, and jam a Stormwind Entity. That's kind of a weird play from our opponent there. I don't know why they wouldn't put the counter on the human that they were about to attack with. Even though this Beacon Bolt looks good, I actually want to bottom it. Especially since next turn we might be opping and plating, searching for a land to play Invade the City as a 5/5 to block this Lovestruck Beast. Alright, we're gonna op. Bottom that. There's a Beacon Bolt. Probably opt to look for another land. I gotta find another land. That is not the land that I was hoping for. I'm actually going to bottom it, because I'm not going to play anything anyways unless I draw an island. Ooh. That is what we call advantageous gameplay there. Chart a Course is... Chart a Course and Shark Typhoon I don't think are what we want at this point. I actually think we're going to bottom them, because we have strategic planning, and so we don't want to draw too many Chart a Courses. Pop. So this kind of makes it so that our opponent has to... Like, they can attack us for 5, but then we are attacking back for more. Yasharn. Okay, that's actually fine, because we don't sack anything. That doesn't affect us. Yep, no blocks. Let's strategic planning first. Yeah, strategic planning... Trigger those guys. Let's get a... let's just get an island so we don't have to shock. Or just get this so we don't have to shock and then play this and Beacon Bolt. Beacon Bolt, this doesn't do anything, right? Can't play life or sack non-lands. Yeah. So we don't care about that, we just kill that. And then... Unless our opponent has a way to deal with our flyers. Deal with both of our flyers, I might add. Because we can play both Invade the City and Beacon Bolt next turn. I love me some Beacon Bolt. I miss playing Beacon Bolt. It's one of my favorite cards to play. Scoos? Alright, you can gain some life, but that doesn't do anything. More Scoos. Alright. And they scoop. Scoos to scoop. Alright. You know, this hand's kind of risky, but I actually don't know if this hand's worth it. Let's try it. Let's try and see if this hand can keep a one-lander. Yorion? Okay. Yorion's kind of scary. Alright, well, it's working. Ooh, I'm actually going to play Dorite here. Get our beats on. We need to be aggressive against the Eorian deck. This is, if I'm imagining, it's Sultai, like, Pact, maybe? What you got? Explorer, okay. Alright, I was going to say, if we don't draw land, I'm going to strategic planning, because it looks at more cards than Tormenting Voice. Well, that's sad. I'm going to take Collected Conjuring, just because that's the kind of best card if we draw lands, but we're going to hit a land soon. Or a third land. Third and fourth land is what we need. Might discarding the Tormenting Voice next turn. Maybe I'm just discarding Collected Conjuring. That or like an Invade the City, but I like to keep Invade the Cities. I would prefer to. Shock. Alright, well, we drew a land, which is nice. The question becomes, what do we do with it? I'm definitely playing it as a blue. I think I'm just playing Stormwind Entity, so I'm just gonna Pillar of Flame them. Move to combat. Smack them. The no play here is kind of weird. I'm gonna play Stormwind Entity. If it gets countered, it gets countered, but I'm also hedging against that they have some kind of like 4-mana draw spell. And if they counter stuff, then I have Invade the City to... Oh, psh! Shark Typhoon for 2? Yeah. That's fine. Alright, both of these go into the bottom. We need to draw a land. If we top deck a land and we resolve Collected Conjuring, I think this is really good for us. And our creature survives. There's a lot of things that have to go right here, but I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic. Gotta believe. Gotta believe in the heart of the cards. Opponent's shocking. Paying lots of life. Alright, they're playing Nissa and making a 3/3. They get to attack us, but like... Sure. Land? Cast Conjured Calling? Can we remove the Shark Typhoon by hitting, like, a removal spell? Or do they have a counter spell? Oh, please don't have a counter spell. Please, 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 please. Come on. Come on. You know you want it to resolve. Aww. Okay, actually, that's kind of fine. Alright, so... The Beacon Bolts... So we can actually kill Nissa. Can we kill Nissa? Yeah, because I can Beacon Bolts... Or I can Strategic Planning, right? I can... I don't have to Beacon Bolt, because I can just Strategic Planning and Pillar of Flame this. Oh no, if I Beacon Bolt and Pillar of Flame them, they're dead. Yeah. Beacon Bolt, target here, Pillar of Flame, target them. That's how this works? What? Oh, that was insane! Oh. But, like, also, even if we didn't, we could have gotten rid of the Nissa, or, like, put a lot of pressure on them. So, yeah, wow, great showing for Collected Conjuring. His hand draws a lot of cards, so I guess we'll keep it. Blue. Blue mana, you say? Alright, I will match you with your blue mana. Blue mana and no play. Oh, this is Dimir? Alright, I'm gonna bottom anything that's not our spells that we want. Play a mountain. I'm actually gonna just Tormenting Voice, discarding a Pillar of Flame. Maybe I have enough lands right now. Yeah, I think I have enough lands. Alright, there's Dora and Collected Conjuring, so that's nice. Alright, what do they got here? Narset? Sure. Fatal Push, you say? This is only 2 creatures, unfortunately. Alright, I think we're gonna do red here, cast Dorat, and Pillar of Flame the Narset. Most likely they're just gonna Fatal Push here. But I am gonna try and kill the... Am I gonna try and kill the Narset? Maybe not. No, I am. I mean, it doesn't really matter, they're gonna Fatal Push anyways, but might as well try. Alright, what's our opponent got here? Nothing. Alright, I will play this as a blue. I think I am passing the turn here. Oh, I forgot that's a sorcery. I should have, I guess it doesn't matter. Let's cast Op here. Okay. Let's go to my turn. Alright, I'm gonna attempt to Pillar of Flame the Narset. Alright, so that resolved, and now we try and chart a course. And if this resolves, we'll probably discard the Beacon Bolt unless something happens. Since they're playing control and they don't seem to have a lot of that stuff. Alright, that's fine. We'll just let him go. There's no reason to cast this op now. Crawling Barrens. Alright, we'll cast an op. Alright, we have 2 Collected Conjurings now, so I'm going to go ahead and jam one of them. Get a counter out of our opponent's hand. Also means they can't use Crawling Barrens this turn. Okay, Torrential Gearhole, not exactly the best counter spell we would like to see, but we kind of don't have any way around it. Okay, they play a Watery Grave tapped, which either means they don't have a lot of cards in hand or their cards are cheap. I'm gonna cast Strategic Planning here. I assume they're not gonna counter this, and I'm looking for another land. We whiff. Fun. Alright, I'm gonna cast a Tormenting Voice, discarding a Tormenting Voice. I no longer want to discard the Beacon Bolt because this has the possibility of being countered. But this is kind of the worst matchup. This is probably the worst matchup if I think about it. They just counter. We don't have any ways to really get past counter spells, and we get censored. That's a big sad. It's a very big sad. At this point, I gotta cast Collected Conjuring because There's no way. I'm dead next turn, or I'm dead very soon because of crawling barons. Oh, please resolve. Please resolve. Well. Here's a beacon bolt to stay alive. Do we even stay alive? Because they just double activate crawling barons. Or do they have another torrential gear hulk? Yeah, they just activate this twice and then activate it again, and I'm dead. Alright. Well, that's about the worst matchup that I could imagine for this deck. So, that's fine. Alright. This looks like a pretty clear mulligan to me. This is much better. What are we putting back? Invade the city? Invade the city is probably not relevant until a little bit later. I'm actually going to save this op for Storm Entity. And actually that means I should have played, the, Steam Vents tapped there. That was my bad. That's okay. Let's just cast a strategic planning here. Get ourselves... let's get ourselves a Shark Typhoon. Put the, a spell in the graveyard, even though it doesn't... we don't care that much about spells in the graveyard. Oh, not biggest deck. Well, I have no choice but to op and then cast a Stormwind Entity. Bottom the op. Do I want this op? I think the answer is yes. Yes. Because then I can cast Beacon Bolt for 4 to get rid of if they play the Cleric this turn. Yep, that's what I was expecting. Let's just cast this. Let's bottom that. Let's just play this as a red. And Beacon Bolts. The Righteous Valkyrie. Smack. I guess they can block here, but that's fine. Opponent's thinking. I think it's a clear block here, personally. I don't think the 1/1 body is doing much. I probably should have gotten rid of the bishop, but this also gains life, right? So, yeah. And it's the better collected company deck. Yep. Sacrifice Linvala. Oh, yeah, lovely. I think they don't realize that they have to click through because Linvala has an ability. This is the worst for us because Beacon Bolt, they just get to choose Indestructible, and then they have this Valkyrie. And all of our stuff is sorcery speed. Alright, so we have this beacon bolt that doesn't do things. That doesn't do what we want it to do. I think we're dead. I think we are just dead. Like, I can cast this to discard this, get some cards, but how do we deal with this Righteous Valkyrie? Well, invade the city makes some dudes, right? Or makes a big dude. You could also beacon bolts to deal 6 because yeah, actually beacon bolt deals 6 if we discard conjured calling. So let's do that. But we're kind of boned, right? Oh, and they get it from stacking Linvala? Come on! Alright, here, I guess if I attack... Oh, I don't get rid of anything because the spirit gets it too. That's insane. That is not fun. Alright, oh, they have another collected company. Alright. Alright, that's gonna be a game. I'm not gonna waste time here. Yeah, our opponent had the draw there, and we didn't have the removal that we needed, but... Alright, yeah, this hand I think we've decided is keepable with, 2 lands and a Tormenting Voice. I think we've come to that conclusion pretty wholeheartedly. Sevi Triumph. Alright, let's Tormenting Voice, discarding... Probably just a strategic planning. Let's discard a Conjured Calling. Or, Collected Conjuring. Alright. So we have our blue source. What is our opponent's deck? Whoa, Ketria and Savai. That's crazy. I'm just gonna cast strategic planning here. Let's get a island actually. Oh, but the rest go into the graveyard. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna grab the Stormwind Entity even though I kinda am in need of the land, and I'm actually gonna hold the Pillar of Flame unless I draw a land next turn, in which case I just cast strategic planning. What you got here, opponent? See the Truth? Okay, this is probably the ramp deck, I'm imagining. Well, that's kind of awkward, but I'm just gonna jam Stormwind Entity. Let's actually keep the Invade the City on top and the islands, because then I get to Collected Conjuring. They could also play Collected Conjuring here, if it's the deck that I'm thinking of. Chainer's Edict. Okay, well, that's fine. See the Truth. Interesting. Oh, this might be like some kind of deck that plays spells from the graveyard. Anyways, here's Collected Conjuring, and it's great that we set it up because now we know that Invade the City is on top. So we can cast that and Chart a Course. Let's put Strategic Planning in the bin. I actually was hoping to respond, but that's fine. It would have been one toughness, one power bigger. I didn't have full control enabled, but that's fine. Doomfall, yep. Okay, let's bottom that. Okay, we can strategic planning to... Well, I guess let's play another Stormwind entity. I was going to play Invade the City, but now I'm deciding against it. Alright, there's a Shark Typhoon, which I'm kind of down for. What is our opponent's deck? What are they playing? Is this like... Sure. See the truth. Okay. There has to be some deck that he's going to play something big that casts a bunch of stuff from the graveyard. Alright, let's just get Invade the City. Smack our opponent for 4. We want the Shark Typhoon if we draw land, or if we draw some... Yep, there's Collected Conjuring. Alright, so they have their own. What do they hit? Never, and that's it. Alright, so they just hit our dude there, that's fine. Interesting deck here. More See the Truths. Okay, so none of the See the Truths are in their deck anymore, right? They just have played all of their See the Truths. Do they have anything to cast stuff from the grave? Alright, well there's our land. Alright, we're gonna smack our opponent and cast a Shark Typhoon. Hopefully they aren't going to make me... Oh, I forgot I had Prowess and not Stormwind. It wasn't Dorat. I missed the damage, but that's fine. I guess they can make me sack it. That's fine. That's actually fine, because now we have Beacon Bolts. They have their own Beacon Bolts. This is going to be quite a game. I can already tell. Let's just... Yeah, let's Dorat here. And Beacon Bolts. Yeah, let's smack. So, like, they have some cards here, but, like, we have Shark Typhoon. So, like, if we can fight through our opponent's cards, we should have the win. Invade the city, sure. Let's op here. Try and find a land. I don't think we want that. We have a Pillar of Flame. Probably just on a... Do we want it on a 1-1? Yeah, just on a 1-1. And then cast a Beacon Bolts. Let's give our opponent a little smack. So now the cards that they have left in their graveyard are fairly menial. Menial? Unimportant. Like, especially, like, Chainer's Edict, and Return are kind of useless. Like, you get a... I guess they can... Oh, they can exile, actually, the Beacon Bolt. So maybe that is a little bit relevant. I forgot about that. I thought this was a creature card, but it's any card. Sure. Save it. Beacon Bolts. I will block. Especially since I know that they have timely reinforcements. Okay, Conjured Calling is insane. We can get an Invade the City. And do we want another Beacon Bolt, or do we want Chart a Course? I think we want Chart a Course, actually. so we can get some more cards. Yep, and there we go. We are the better collected conjuring deck. All right. Good one to end on. All right, and there you go. That is Coco, but for spells, aka Collected Conjuring. I would say mid-range slash control. Definitely saw that Collected Conjuring had the power level when combined with the other cards of the deck. This is definitely a high-powered synergy deck. Very much relying on synergy to make the cards work. We saw that with Shark Typhoon, casting Collected Conjuring produced a ton of value. Casting Collected Conjuring on turn 4 and hitting Invade the City or Beacon Bolt was a good way to affect the board. So usually a lot of times an Izzet deck or a spells deck like this doesn't have a lot of board presence unless you are jamming Stormwind Entity or Sprite Dragon early and casting lots of spells. Or I guess in this case using Pillar of Flames. But with Beacon Bolt and Invade the City and hitting that off of Collected Conjuring, it felt like there were a lot of ways that we could affect the board. Right, you saw that in the last game. Like, we were both playing Collected Conjuring, but the fight was absolutely about cards, but not only just cards in your hand or cards in your graveyard, but cards on the field. Right, slewing Beacon Bolts against Invade the City tokens, using Shark Typhoon tokens to block the whatever their 1/1 tokens were. So a lot of board relevant cards that is usually not prevalent in Izzet decks like this. So that was an advantage. Deck has a lot of card filtering, so we were able to find the cards that we needed when we needed them. A lot of times you're able to find the lands. Sometimes we were mana screwed, but that's alright. That's going to happen in a 20 land deck, but a lot of times we were able to go into the game and play a land every turn, which allowed us to play Shark Typhoon. Right? This is weird because it's a 20 land deck, but it's not a ramp deck, and it's playing Shark Typhoon. So that's kind of weird. But yeah, with Charter Core, Strategic Planning, and Tormenting Voice, lots of card filtering. Yeah, the deck struggled against decks that got onto the board very, very quickly, so Collected Company decks were a problem, and control decks that just countered our spells were also a problem. But besides that, the deck looks like it's pretty good, and Collected Conjuring, as we've seen, is not just good in this deck, but we also played against another Collected Conjuring deck that was making use of it. So with See the Truth, it seemed like, and also some of the flashback spells, I guess, so that you can get lots of value off of Collected Conjuring, not just from the initial cast of Collected Conjuring and the spells it hits after, but then putting those cards in your graveyard to use later. So yeah, really, really impressive. Really, really happy that this card is doing something. I think a lot of people were disappointed with the design of the card, that it was sorcery speed, it only hit sorceries. It just didn't look really good. In this deck, I think this is pretty cool, and kind of showcases also how this is kind of almost like a tap-out control deck. It's not really a control deck, but like if you view it as a control deck, it's a control deck that doesn't play counter spells. It taps out for all of its stuff. Yeah, so really, really, really cool deck. Again, probably not top tier, but if you like Izzet spells decks and you really like Collected Conjuring and stuff like that, this is one of the ways that I would recommend playing it. There's a few others out there that you can look for. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you made it here, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, follow me on Twitch, link in the description. I stream fairly regularly. We played a Grixis Death Shadow list in my last stream, and I play other games as well. So yeah, check that out, and yeah, I'll see you guys for the next video.